Hey everybody, I'm Jackson.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is Who It At?
The Masked Singer Podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back to Who It At?
I missed it. I was a little late on the Who Is That. That is fine. Season 3 recap.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
The Masked Singer Podcast.
The Masked Singer Podcast. Who is that? The Masked Singer Podcast. Full title. There we go.
All right. So, season 3, we were so pleased that it was
Yes.
announced immediately after season 2 finished.
Yeah. They were like, it was on the final episode, right? We'll be back after the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and
they
we're
were
like,
literally like, we'll be back in 2 months.
the Super Bowl's so fast. And it was
Yeah.
great. No, to only have to go for roughly a month and a half without the Masked Singer. Because remember, we watched the final episode like a couple weeks after it aired, right?
I think we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Because
we
we
couldn't
were like
all-
out of town.
Yeah.
And we wanted to watch it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we went home for Christmas.
Super crazy how we avoided spoilers for like 2 weeks on that.
Yeah.
How
No,
did
I
we
mean,
do that?
I deleted my Twitter. That's how I did it. Like,
Just no Twitter, nothing, no social media. Can't risk it. Cannot
Yeah.
risk it.
But yeah, with season 3, I mean, we had a Super Bowl viewing party that was really for us more of a Masked Singer viewing party.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was crazy because that's the last party we had. And I mean, there were like 25, 30 people like crammed into our living room.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And that will never happen again.
Nope.
Anyways, let's get into some specs, Lauren, for
Yeah.
season 3.
So season 3 was definitely the longest season to
Yep.
date. It had 18 episodes starting from February 2nd to May 20th.
A glorious
2020.
3 months of Masked Singer.
I will say they definitely stretched it out because they had that one sing-along episode.
That's true.
Like, I really think they were just trying to be like, okay, since we're not shooting anything right now, we need to make all of our shows go as long as we can.
Which, very fair.
Very fair. So, you know, same host, Nick Cannon, same panel with some guest people as well.
Mm-hmm.
We had 18 contestants, which was the most we've had so far.
Yeah.
Separated into 3 groups, Group A, B, and C. Between all of these people, they had 69 Grammy nominations, 88 gold records, 11 Super Bowl appearances, 3 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, hundreds of tattoos, and 1 title in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Who was the world record holder?
I think that might have been... Was it Chaka Khan?
Maybe. For
Because
what?
it was something about, like... Now I gotta look it up.
While Lauren is looking that up, I am going to go into who was in each group, all of our contestants for the season. We're going to go group by group, not technically in their entire final order, but in their order by how they got out in their group. So Group A had Robot as Lil Wayne,
It was,
Llama as
it was
Drew
Hunter
Carey.
Hayes.
What is his world record? What you got with us, Hunter?
Let me look.
Let's go, Hunter. Come on.
Broken record, super clue mean. Hold on. I saw the headline and went ahead and made the announcement. Keep going.
Continuing with Group A, Miss Monster as Shaka Khan, White Tiger, Rob Gronkowski, Kangaroo as Jordan Woods, and Turtle as Jesse McCartney. I think I'm saying that backwards. I should be saying Jesse
Wow.
McCartney as Turtle.
All right,
Yes.
I'm going to jump back in.
Okay.
Hunter Hayes holds the world record for the most concerts played in multiple cities over a 24-hour period.
How many?
10 shows in 10 different cities in 24 hours to help
Wow.
raise awareness about child hunger. Wow.
That's actually really impressive.
Wow, Hunter Hayes. That's really cool.
Good for you, Hunter.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's like one concert in a different city every 2.4 hours.
Wow, that's incredible. Good for you,
Wow.
Hunter Hayes. Come on the podcast to discuss how tiring and taxing that was.
2 hours
Alrighty.
and 24 minutes.
Yes.
Every concert.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Well, you need travel time, right?
Well, no, I mean, I don't mean like all the concerts were that long.
Oh,
I just
sure.
mean one concert every 2 hours and 24 minutes.
Sure. Then we had Group B. Elephant, Tony Hawk, Mouse, Dionne Warwick, Taco, Tom Bergeron, Banana, Brett Michaels, Kitty, Jackie Ivanko.
I think it's Ivanko. That's how they
Ivanko.
pronounce it. It's probably actually meant to be pronounced Ivanko.
Cool. Frog as Bow Wow. Lil Bow Wow or Bow Wow. I think his official name is Bow Wow now. He's Big Bow Wow now. Group C, Bear, Sarah Palin, Swan, Bella Thorne, T-Rex, Jojo Siwa, Astronaut Hunter Hayes, the aforementioned world record holder, Rhino, Barry Zito, and Night Angel, Candy Burris, obviously, who was our eventual winner.
Yeah.
So let's go into some overall thoughts about the finale, how the season sort of went.
Yeah.
So as we talked about sort of on last episode, the star power I feel like increased dramatically. Maybe not dramatically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, our first elimination was Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, one of the most prolific rappers of all time, and who I guessed immediately.
Oh, well, as soon as you hear him speak, you're like, that's Lil Wayne.
They might as well have just had his signature, like, lighter at the beginning of his song, because you could tell immediately.
Well, and none of the panelists guessed it. I was like...
Which is... I have to think someone guessed it, and they're like, don't include that. Everyone knows who it is, but we can't have everyone know immediately. But star power was huge. The talent, I thought, dipped a little bit, if I'm going to be honest.
From season 2.
It dipped a little bit.
No, I mean, there were a lot of, like, really big names in this, but, like, I felt like Turtle was our number one consistent showstopper, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And this is my hot take of the episode. I would take multiple performances of season 2 over any performance in season 3 by anyone.
I agree.
I love Turtle so much, but a couple Rottweiler performances I would take over any. Tennessee Whiskey by the Fox I would take over any. And probably even Rainbow by Thingamajig I would take over any.
I agree. Yeah.
I
thought that, of course, our winner was Night Angel, and she was probably one of the most, like, technically gifted singers that we've seen.
Which Candy Burris showed out.
Yeah, incredible.
She is incredible, yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. They didn't like get to me at my core the same as a lot of the season 2 performances did.
There was one huge performance, which we'll talk about later, by the Turtle that really broke me. But besides that, it was, I don't know.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Still some good performances, though. Still some
still
fun
a great season.
Absolutely.
Yeah, still a really fun season.
And, like, definitely, if you're here more for... seeing the celebrity reveals and, like, the rumors of who each person could be and looking at the clues, this is definitely the season for you.
Yeah, for sure. A really cool thing I thought about this season was this was the first time, besides Fox's interlude in his final performance, this was the first time we had a rapper on the show. Rapped, sorry. Lil Wayne was on the show, but he sang.
Who made it far.
Yes, but Bow Wow rapped on the show as his performances, and he made it to the final round.
Yeah,
he was top 3.
He was third. So.
And I thought that was just cool. I don't know. It opens up more possibilities for performers and for more genres. Well, he was also a great
dancer, and he's great as a rapper.
Crazy legs.
Crazy legs.
Crazy frog legs. It's like Crazy Frog, but also Crazy Legs.
And do the Crazy Frog. Okay.
Yep, correct. Thank you, thank you, Lauren. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. So yes, halfway through the season, COVID hit, and they started. They had already filmed the whole season, so none of the actual episodes were affected. But then they had I wrote down Behind the Mask. It's not Behind the Mask because saw it.
It's not. It's After the Mask. Isn't that it?
After the Mask, I think. I'm going to look it up real quick. But yes, so while I look it up, what did you think about it?
Okay, so they had a post-show after every episode, and they had a Zoom audience that looked real creepy.
Yes, after
like they would show all the different screams and just see a bunch of tiny people like, woo! Clap, 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 clap. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I definitely have a lot of the same vibe as you. Where, like, I don't know that it was necessarily worth watching most of the time.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, and it was very much, I thought, fine. A plug for the person who had just gotten off. So, like, after Bret Michaels got off, who was the banana. Well, no, he was promoting his book.
Oh, true.
He was on After the Mask and on the episode where he was revealed, like, promoting his book that was coming out.
Yeah.
And then also after Jackie Evancho got out, like, she did a little thing where she sang an extra song.
Yeah. Well, she sang an extra. Like, Hunter Hayes sang an extra song.
Oh, that's right.
Barry Zito sang an extra song, didn't he?
Yeah, he totally did.
So, like, which is cool. It's cool to actually see these singers without their costumes, doing their thing.
Well, I mean,
which
especially
is
someone
cool.
like Barry Zito is not a singer,
who's not known for being a singer.
Well, I mean, I guess
sure.
he has released some music, but like he's more known for being an athlete.
For being a baseball player. But yeah, I think
the only person I want to see sing on After the Mask.
Dr. Elvis.
Dr. Elvis.
Dr. Elvis is the person I think who's most likely to come on this podcast. Probably no one will, but
probably not.
I think Dr. Elvis, if you're listening to this, please, dear God, come on. We'll let you sing for us. It could just be an hour-long podcast of you sing.
No, you'll let us listen.
Yes. Dr. Elvis, I want him on The Masked Singer.
Well, here's the thing.
I want him on it.
I think that him being on this After the Mask show makes him famous enough to be on The Masked Singer.
Makes him a celebrity enough to be on The Masked Singer. He would probably win. Because his voice is just
incredible.
When he and Nicole did that duet.
Oof. It was so good.
Oof, Dr. Elvis, thank you for gracing us with your beautiful voice. I think I think it would have been more worth it, going back to overall After the Mask. It would have been more worth it if they would reveal better clues.
Yeah, maybe I agree, because they'd always be like, oh, a bonus clue for this person, and it was just never... I didn't have that much of a payoff.
Yeah, I think maybe if they revealed clues even throughout the episode, maybe... Because typically, you have a maximum of 6 people perform on the next episode, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you do that, you could probably almost have one for each new person.
Yeah.
Each person to perform. I think that would be worth watching it. I would tune in just for that. So, maybe do that and it'll be better.
I mean, instead we cut ourselves fast forwarding to Dr. Elvis and that was it.
Exactly.
So.
Final comment about this. Nick Cannon, are you okay? Nick Cannon, blink twice if you're okay. Because
just like his eyes look so dead. I was like, are you good?
They made him sleep in that studio, and you can't convince me otherwise.
It was just like the whole green screen and then like the creepy Zoom audience, all those elements together. I was like, and obviously most people have had a rough time during this pandemic.
Yes, of course.
But like,
Nick Cannon,
yeah,
buddy.
Nick Cannon. Oh my God, are you okay?
Sorry that we didn't listen before when that was obviously a cry for help on that. We're here now, though, if you need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Because if they're still making you sleep in that studio, please blink twice if you're in danger now.
Yeah.
I know I originally said blink twice if you're okay. Now blink twice if you're in danger. Scratch the original part.
Just type something out in Morse code. We'll listen.
Yeah. So back to sort of the overall episodes.
Yeah.
Off After the Mask now. There were more gimmick-based clues this year and more themes. They had that one that was like, let's hear from their middle school teacher or something like that. Oh, yeah,
there was like the one with the college roommate, and then they put a bunch of stuff where their head should be so you couldn't hear them.
Exactly.
Which was interesting.
And then there was the one where after their performances, they brought out like what did they do? They brought out some like visual stuff. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Because I remember the turtle had...
Yeah. So they had the stuff that had been confiscated when they came in, like when they x-rayed their bags or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is just funny because, like, so I was able to actually be in the audience for one episode of this show. And, you go through metal detectors, like, they won't let you bring, phones, like, anything where you could record or take pictures or anything, obviously, because the show is all about spoilers and secrets and everything.
Yep.
But yeah, so it was definitely funny seeing them go through, like, the same security line, even though the panelists don't actually go through that line most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it just showed like, oh, what was in this person's bag, and it had all these clues. So I thought that was really fun too.
Yeah. I liked it, and I thought it added something new and fresh. But for sometimes I thought, especially like the one where we got like the college roommate and stuff at the beginning, I feel like it didn't always reveal as many clues as I wanted to.
I agree.
So I liked the gimmick of it. I thought it was a cool, new, fresh way to do it. But I wish they would like keep the same gusto in revealing the clues about people.
Well, and I also think something I did think was fun about this season was that the structure of the episodes, once we got out of the episodes that were focused on the 3 groups.
Yeah.
And because, those kind of took a while, and like you'd see one group and not see the other 2. And then by the time we finished with Group C, we kind of forgot about Group A.
Yeah.
Because we just didn't see them. But once we got past those and we were in like the final 6, we had some really cool structured episodes. So we had the ones where we would see like 4 people, and there were 2 pairs that would go against each other.
That was cool.
And then the losers of the pairs would have a showdown.
Yeah.
And the clue packages were just like these 2 characters competing and showing down. And there were 2 of them. I think it was Astronaut and Rhino or something.
I know Astronaut and Turtle. It was Astronaut and Turtle.
Yeah, okay. Because they did like kind of a mirror exercise thing together, and it was just very cool. And
well, and it's cool too, especially with that pair.
Element.
Yeah, especially with that pair, because I feel like they're so similar, especially as their characters on the show.
As like the more boy bandish kind of guy.
Yeah, and I think that adds another element of competition, like you said. And it's sort of, I don't know, it almost personalizes it more. I don't even know if...
No, I agree. No, because it's almost like, I mean, a lot of times, like, yes, it is a competition show, but you also don't see a lot of the characters interacting.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of that, like, head-to-head kind of deal.
Yeah, for sure.
And while I'm sure that most of the time when they shoot these clue packages, it's not actually the celebrities in the costumes.
Yeah.
It was still really fun.
No, yeah, I definitely enjoyed that aspect as well. We haven't talked a ton about guest hosts, but... I always liked when they have a guest host on. I don't think it's like, it's not always necessary, but I think it's cool. I think it's fun. They have some cool hosts. I love Joel McHale. Community is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. So he's great. And I don't like, Robin Thicke, not a great person in real life.
Yeah.
You know, he's done some bad things. Obviously, I don't know him personally. Robin, come on the podcast to discuss. But, you know, he done some questionable things. But Joel McHale, I feel like, fits a similar mold.
Yeah.
So, well, like, you could have Joel McHale on and it would be fine. But whatever.
Robin Thicke's role as a panelist has been to be, like, the vocal or musical consultant in a way.
Yeah.
So to be the person who's like, oh, well, this person obviously has a lot of training. This person is a technically very good singer, yada, yada, yada. Personally, I think Nicole's a better singer, and she should be that person.
Well, no, I think definitely.
That's my hot take of the episode.
I mean, Nicole's voice is outstanding. Yeah. I don't know. I think Robin Thicke is a good singer, and I think that's fine because you have two people with musical knowledge in Robin and Nicole, and then you have two people who sort of fill different molds with Jenny and Ken. You know, so like it's fine. And I will say here's another kind of hot take. I do sometimes feel like Robin's guesses are actually accurate. I think they cut him out sometimes because a lot of times you won't see him guessing, and I think it's because he guessed right. I do kind of think Robin is a good guesser.
No, that's fair.
You're
totally right.
I'll say that about Robin. Like I don't. But you know, Joel McHale's great, and so I like Joel McHale on it. Jay Farrow, was Jay Farrow on this season as a guest host?
Remember.
He's great always.
I was also going to talk about on April Fools on that episode.
Oh my goodness,
the
Snoop
had
Dogg,
a fake Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. That was funny. For a second, because we were watching it, and I was like,
that looks like Snoop Dogg. I guess it's Snoop Dogg.
But also, what happened to Snoop Dogg? Because he looks different.
Yeah. Well, and I have no idea how much of the reactions from the panelists were real, but I know Nicole was like, I'm sitting right next to you, and I thought you were Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, he looks a lot like Snoop Dogg. So Snoop Dogg impersonator. I bet we could get him on the show.
Baby.
Snoop Dogg impersonator, come on. Alrighty, so those are our overall thoughts for season 3. Now we're going to move into more specifics. So first, who was robbed?
Turtle, obviously.
Turtle was. Kandi Burruss was great. I love Kandi Burruss.
Kandi Burruss was great.
She's fantastic.
Well, and it's also like, it's nice that we finally had a woman who won the show. Because season 1 and 2, obviously that did not happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just really love
Say
Turtle.
Your feelings,
That's
Lauren.
all.
I think it's tough because once again, people in the audience, they don't see the whole season lead up.
Right.
I thought Turtle was far more consistent throughout the season.
Definitely, yeah.
But when it relies on that final episode, Night final performance was incredible. She killed it. Based on final performances, I understand why she won.
Yeah, I understand.
But overall,
I'm sure it was close,
my boy
though.
Turtle. I have an affinity, and actually I missed a note before. I had a really good guessing season, to be fair. Because I guessed Jesse McCartney pretty quick off the bat. I listened to Right Where You Want Me, the Jesse McCartney album, 50 times throughout my youth, easily 50, 100 times. So I'm pretty familiar with Jesse McCartney's voice. And I did guess it pretty quick. And so I think from that, I had a real affinity for Turtle throughout the whole season. Fair. So
we all knew Robot as soon as he opened his mouth.
Yes.
You definitely guessed Frog right off the bat.
I did. The Mike clues definitely hit it for me.
Yeah. And I mean, we all knew White Tiger was Rob Gronkowski immediately.
Yeah, Gronk, come on. Who are you fooling? You guessed Jojo Siwa.
I did. Yeah. Well, because also, the episode I was there, it was Group C, so I did see her. Yeah, so you got to see Jojo
Siwa. We guessed Astronaut. I actually had a little help from my friend Taylor. Shout out Taylor for that one.
Yeah.
She told me about Astronaut, and then once I heard it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's funny.
And saw the clues.
We went back and forth on a few people with Astronaut, but we did eventually get it before it was guessed.
Yeah. Also, so I wrote down on our, going back to who was robbed, I wrote down Astronaut. But I don't know. I'm not firm on that.
Well, here's what I think. I think that if Astronaut had not gone up against Turtle in that showdown, he would not have gotten out.
Well, I think that is why he got out, right?
Because he could have won against someone else.
Yeah. Well, was that the season, or was that the episode he got out?
I thought it was. Because I thought that he had to go up against the Rhino in the end, and then Rhino ended up winning. Because I think that it was just in the final performance, Rhino had a better choice.
Yeah. And see, I think even if he wouldn't have had to go up against Turtle, I do think it kind of makes sense that he got out. Because like you said, he fills the same role that Jesse McCartney did.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he got out, it makes sense. Because it's like, okay, you have two very similar performers, and Turtle was better.
Well, and obviously, in our final 3, we had 3 very different performers. Because we had a pure rapper, pretty much.
Yeah.
We had, Jesse McCartney, and then we also had Kandi Burruss.
Yeah,
so,
who was
they
more
were
of just
all
a straight
very,
singer.
very different.
Yeah, and I will say with Astronaut, he was obviously a very big fan favorite, and like a lot of people loved him, and he was super charming. He was super charming. His character was super charming, and I do think the mask kind of affected his performances, because I've heard Hunter Hayes sing live in addition to The Masked Singer, and his voice is smooth as a baby's rear end. However,
it was not always as smooth.
It wasn't, and I have to think that was because of the mask, because of like having to dance, which he's not used to doing.
And I'm sure he has no visibility in that mask.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Because I mean, every once in a while they'll have kind of a camera that'll show like what it looks like from inside a mask, and you cannot see.
Listen. In 6th grade, I was in a production of Peter Pan, and I played the bear. Is there a bear in Peter Pan, the musical, Lauren?
No, there's not.
That character was added. And I played that bear, and I played the heck out of that bear. I did, Lauren. Okay. But I was in a bear costume, and I could not see a single thing out of that bear costume. I get what these performers are going through. I've been there. I've been there in the trenches with you, wearing these masks. Trust me, it's awful. And they were hot. That costume was hot. I opened Act 2, I think. I was like the first thing on stage.
Oh wait, you've definitely told me about this.
Yes.
You like ran across the stage for no reason.
Well, yes, and. But like I start on stage and I'm like sleeping. And I have to get there obviously before the lights come up, just to be ready. And I was sitting there and I was sweating so hard. That is the sweatiest Jackson Campbell has ever been in his entire life.
Wow.
In that costume.
As opposed to the past 2 weeks. That's pretty crazy.
in 116 degree weather in LA, yes. But, you're in that costume, and like the lights came up, and I was I thought I was going to pass out. I didn't, luckily, but I thought I was going to pass out.
Especially if you're supposed to be sleeping. That's tough.
Anywho.
Yeah. But yeah, another person who was definitely, she would not have won. I don't think she would have been in the final 3. But Kangaroo should have made it much farther.
Kangaroo should have made it.
And she had a really cool costume too. Like I loved the boxing costume.
I did. I think I think this was a little bit of sort of the not being a full overall performer.
Yeah.
Because she never really moved a whole lot,
Right.
just in general. Which is fine. Her voice was one of the best of the season, though.
I agree. Well, and I also thought she had a really great arc, too. Because
she did.
In her first
couple
had a really great arc. She was very,
nervous,
But when
timid.
she kind of came into her own, she sounded awesome.
Yeah. I think even from the beginning, she sounded awesome. Her first performance was one of my favorites of the season.
Was great, too.
Yeah.
But no, she did, I don't know what the song is actually called, like Breathe or No Air. It's called No Air.
Jordan Sparks.
What?
It's by Jordan Sparks. Right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you that we were air.
Yeah. No, I meant I couldn't figure out what the song was called.
Oh, no, I know. But I was just saying No Air by Jordan Sparks.
I was like,
yes.
It's not called Jordan Sparks.
I was confirming you. No, yes.
But yeah, I mean, that performance was great. She had some really good ones, and I think that she could have shown us a lot more if she'd been able to stay on.
Yeah. I was surprised she got out before Banana.
Yeah, me too.
Big time surprised she got out before Banana.
Well, and it's also like, I don't know, with Bret Michaels, a lot of his songs that he did, he was like trying to imitate the person who did it first. So like he did Jailhouse Rock, I think, and he was like trying to do an Elvis voice, you know? So I don't know. I don't think we really heard a lot of like his real tone.
Well, I feel like he probably did that to avoid people recognizing him.
I mean, yeah.
Because if he would have gone in his normal style, people probably would have gotten it very quickly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Bret Michaels, you know. So I get why he did it, but it's hard. Yeah. Who made it too far? There's one obvious answer. We all know
White Tiger.
Gronk is
he's a funny man.
He's hilarious and he's so charming. I love Gronk.
Tide commercials.
I love
Gronk.
He's great. He's not a singer.
Sing.
He's not a singer. Sorry, Rob.
What did he do? He did
Ice Ice Baby for his first one.
Yes. I remember that. No. But
did he do We Will Rock You?
Yes, he did. Because he was like, na. Yeah. He did. But it's like, that song barely has any singing in it.
Yeah.
And yet, he was still off key.
Yeah.
He was so
It was just, I was like...
The rhythm was off, like...
I wonder if how it's gonna go. I know it's not confirmed yet how they're gonna do the voting this year. You know, I wonder either way if this was a show that was like audience voted, people who watched it voted. I wonder if that would have helped or hurt Gronk.
Huh, I don't know.
Because he's a fan favorite. Like, a lot of people loved him. He puts on fine
and
performances.
I feel like people just knowing it's Gronk could have voted for him because they're like, I want to see Gronk go farther on this.
Or it could have hurt him because it's like, wow, this guy really can't sing. And then, so I just think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But Rob Gronkowski made it farther than Dionne Warwick or Shaka Khan. So let that sink in,
insane.
everyone. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
5 seconds of silence for that. Okay, that was only 2 seconds, but anyways.
No, but Dionne Warwick, we kind of talked about her last episode because she was the mouse.
Yes.
And we knew right off the bat that, like, the mouse was someone who was definitely older because, I mean, Nick Cannon was, like, taking her arm and, like, escorting her off stage. So we were like, this is definitely an older person. But, I mean, we had legends on this episode.
Legends, and Well, anyways. All right. Now, who's unmasking surprised us? I'm definitely going to talk about this first one.
Yeah.
So, the bear. As we know, Sarah Palin. It was a weird experience for me because everyone else in our house knew that it was Sarah Palin because they had it spoiled for them.
Yeah.
And everyone...
Well, I mean, because all these people who don't watch The Masked Singer found out about that episode because her performance was ridiculous.
Yeah. She sang Baby Got Back.
Yeah. Oh,
and
it
everyone,
haunts my dreams.
Yeah, everyone else in the house was like, I know who this is, and this makes it so much worse. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? I don't know why it's so weird.
It's also like when we saw the clues, or even you can, even in the distorted voice, you could hear her accent.
Yeah,
so
I didn't guess it though.
No, but it's honestly like, I don't know if I would have guessed it just because Sarah, like, I feel like a lot of the people in The Masked Singer, you have athletes, you have singers, you have actors.
She's been our only politician.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know if I even would have thought of Sarah Palin as, like, someone I could choose from.
Yeah. But she's not even in the pool of options that you could think about.
But at the same time, if any politician was going to be on The Masked Singer, of course it was Sarah Palin.
Yeah. I mean,
and of course she did this song.
It makes sense. I wonder if it's going to open the door for more politicians to be on the show.
How interesting would that be if that became like almost like a mandatory part of a presidential campaign to be like, you got to do a stint in The Masked Singer?
You have to be on The Masked Singer. Come on out here, Joe.
No.
Hear those bones creaking.
I want Bernie Sanders on The Masked Singer.
Hello.
I want him to be like...
I feel like you could tell.
You know what? No, okay, Bernie Sanders would go on The Masked Singer. He would be the Scarecrow.
Oh,
I can see it now.
That's good.
He'd be the Scarecrow. That's really good. And like... they probably have the voice be like, but you'd definitely still be able to hear the like he'd say something about the 1%.
The 1%.
And like you just know. Anyway, man.
Oh, that would be great. Who else would be good? Politician. Bernie would be good. He would have to be escorted on and off stage.
Oh, definitely.
He might break.
Elizabeth Warren would do it.
She would do it. She'd do it.
AOC, I think she's just fun enough that she would do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Who would she be? I feel like because she plays League of Legends, so maybe she'd be some kind of like fantasy character kind of deal. Oh, true.
That could be fun. That could be cool.
Yeah.
Anywho. Kitty was also surprising unmasking. Yeah. I was convinced it was either Natalie Dyer from Stranger Things or Sarah Hyland from Modern Family.
Yeah.
And you could not have convinced me it was not one of those two people. I didn't know who, but I knew it was one of those two, and I was so wrong.
Well, and the thing, too, was that, like, I knew who Jackie Evancho was.
I did not. I had no idea who she
was.
was.
I'm pretty sure she's from Pittsburgh, and that's why I knew who she was.
Really?
But she was, like, I think she was on America's Got Talent.
I think that's where, because when she was super young, she was, the youngest.
No, she was, like, a 10-year-old opera singer, basically. Which is crazy, because, like, your voice usually isn't developed enough for that. But, A, she obviously wasn't singing opera, so she sounded very different. And B, it's, like, when you know someone as a 10-year-old, and you just, like, I feel like when you only see people when they only have childhood fame, you, like, forget that they grow up.
Forget that they exist, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool for her, though. Just,
she was
talking
able to do something different.
Yeah, and she was able to sort of put herself back out there. Obviously still an incredible singer, but in a very new light than what she's known for. So
Definitely.
I think that was really cool for her. But yeah, that was
very surprising.
Super
we had
surprising.
No idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so on to favorite performances. Obviously, Baby Got Back by Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
It was the best.
Probably the most viewed, I would say, probably out of any of them. Like on YouTube and everything.
Incorrect. That was not my favorite performance. It was certainly will haunt my dreams for the rest of my life. That was not
most
my favorite
memorable, probably though.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Let It Go. That was the turtle performance I was
not
talking
from Frozen.
about. Yeah, different one. This is James Bay, I believe, the original artist behind that song. But that was the one moment of the season where I was like, oh, chills.
We were like, we got to play that back.
Yeah, and we did. We watched that one 3 or 4 times that same night we watched that episode. So that was definitely my favorite, yeah.
Yeah. You dropped a bomb on me from the frog.
That was one where he sang. And he sounded good.
That's like the only one where he did any singing at all. Yeah,
and I liked it. Hip Hop Hooray also was a good, like, I feel like those were his best bars. Like, he had his best flow of the season on that one, you know? And so that was more in his style, best one, and not in his style. You Dropped a Bomb on Me was great.
Yeah. Well, I did kind of want to talk about, too, like, this was not one of my favorites, per se, even though I thought, you know, the rapping part of when he did Fireball by Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide, the rapping part was great. And he actually did the Mr. Worldwide part in the beginning, too. But, like...
Is that right?
Okay, there's, again, very little singing in that song. But he proved that he could sing, you know? So the only singing is like the, I'm on fire. And he didn't do that.
Ahead,
he said, I'm on fire, 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 fire. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, that song would have been a showstopper, I would say, if not for that, because that really took me out of it. And he did that with a lot of his songs.
You think that would have been a showstopper?
Well,
Fireball
I thought the dancing was fun.
The dancing was fun.
Dancing was fun. The rapping was great. He had a special entrance that he came in through the audience.
Frog is by far the best dancer we have seen on this show.
I agree.
So all of his dancing was better than anything we've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I hear
yeah, you know, it's just like, come on, like, sing this tiny little part that isn't even hard.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I respect him for sticking to the rap game.
I guess.
You know, I gotta respect him for that. And finally, Dancing on My Own by Kangaroo. That was her first performance, but vocally it was so good.
It was very good.
And once again, set the bar high, and I thought she continued to beat that bar, but I guess the audience didn't, so...
Yeah.
What?
Oh, well.
What? Anyways.
So, finally, our favorite masks.
Yes.
So, I will say, you know, I talked about on last season's recap about how sometimes you can tell the ones who maybe they don't think are going to make it too far when they don't put quite as much effort into the mask, or like they don't have as much detail.
Yep.
Elephant was not one of those.
Elephant mask
was such a cool mask. That was Tony Hawk. He got out his first episode.
He did. I didn't think he had a bad voice. His voice was fine.
No, but like...
I understand why he got out.
Yeah. But
yeah, his mask was so cool. I'm surprised they did that, knowing that he would probably get out soon.
Yeah. I will say, if you're listening to this now, next week is Elephant Appreciation Day.
Yes, it is.
Next Tuesday.
So,
the 22nd.
Good for you, elephants. We appreciate you.
Cool. Tony Hawk.
Another White Tiger's mask was really cool.
It was really cool. Part of me is like, maybe that's why he stayed so long. They were like, we spent too much money on this
They're
mask.
like, elephants out, so we have to keep one of them.
Yeah.
Gronk.
But, okay, one thing that did bother me, though, they made White Tiger's, like, fangs so yellow. And I was like, for what?
I mean, like...
Every time they showed it up close, I was like, ugh.
I mean, he is a creature in the wild.
I guess.
You don't brush his teeth. You don't have toothpaste. Colgate ain't sponsoring White Tiger out there in the woods. The wild.
Well, Gronkowski is sponsored by Tide Pod, so maybe you could have just chewed on those instead.
Yeah, maybe. Alrighty, Night Angel also had a super cool costume.
Yeah. I will say the mouth was a little weird with that, the mouth being open, but we're positive that she requested that. Like, so that it wouldn't get in the way of her voice.
For sure.
You know?
I mean, hers was like that. Season 1, Gladys Knight's bee costume was like that.
True.
So it makes sense. The powerhouse singers don't want anything in the way. I get it.
Yeah. Turtle was super cool.
Turtle was
the
like same mold as Rottweiler.
Turtle. He had spikes.
Yeah, it was just like cool masks.
Yeah.
Cool. And then Frog.
Frog was just like sleek.
He was a baller.
Like, we saw his costume from the beginning, and we were like, we don't know if this guy's going to be really, really good or really, really bad.
Yeah. It was just... It fit his character really well,
Definitely.
too.
Well, and it gave him a lot of mobility. You know,
it did,
a lot of his dancing is very, like, leg-centric.
Yeah.
So, that scanned.
Yep. That's me yawning.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, yeah, so Season 4, if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, Season 4 is premiering a week from today.
A week from this moment.
And our first episode, I guess, like, we have a preview episode for Season 4 coming out on Tuesday, so Elephant Appreciation Day.
Tuesday? Are we dropping that Tuesday?
We are.
Or Monday?
Tuesday. I have it on the calendar.
Should we drop it Monday instead?
I don't know.
On air discussion. You're hearing this because that'll give people a couple days. We'll see. Monday or Tuesday.
Drop it the day before it premieres, though.
Look out for it on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll post it on our social media. So go follow us.
We will. So yeah, that's super exciting. That was our season 3 recap episode. Lauren, any final thoughts on season 3?
No.
Okay. Okay. Yes, so if you don't know anything about Season 4, tune into our episode. We're going to have all the information that's possibly out there on the internet. How many contestants, how it's gonna work in this new world that we're living in.
Yeah. We're gonna rank the costumes.
We are gonna rank the costumes, make our far too early predictions before we even hear anyone on who we think is going to win. We're going to, something I'm really excited about is we're going to try to guess to see some of the people who might be on.
Yeah.
Maybe a Dr. Elvis might show up in my list. We'll see.
Maybe Raven-Symoné again.
Maybe Raven-Symoné again. Two bold predictions that certainly won't happen. But that's going to be us. So tune in for episode 4, our season 4
preview
preview
on
Who It At?
The Masked Singer Podcast.